Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Sykoo here, and today I'm very excited to bring you guys a brand new video where I'm going to finally be answering your guys' questions. If you recall, I made a video for a few days ago where I announced that I was going to make a Q&A video, and today is finally the day, and I actually was planning to make it like the previous weekend that we just passed, which is ridiculous because I made that announcement video, I think Friday. Previous week Friday then, and I was planning to make this Q&A video this weekend that came up, but I had a few personal matters, so I couldn't really do it. But I thought today is the deadline. I just want to make it. So anyway, I sort of like cropped out a few pictures of all the questions that were listed in that video. By the way, thank you all so much for the support. And recently, actually, today we just reached 2,400 plus subscribers, which is incredible. Thank you guys so much for all the support. It's ridiculous that I am receiving so much support from you guys. Let it be your comments, let it be the views. The subscribers, the amount is not very important for me, but it just proves the point. It proves that I'm actually going somewhere with this channel. And that's really fun to see. And I'm really looking forward to be answering you guys' questions. So without further ado, guys, let's get this started. Alright, so the first question here that I found was from Kubi, Kubi77, and his question is, can you give us your assets and tutorial on Unity beginners? So I just want to start off by saying that the models that I use and the assets that I use in general on my speed level design videos, they are mostly not made by me. I'm not a modeler. I'm not a very good modeler. That's a better way to put it out. But, I'm just a basic, simple modeler that is still learning his job as a modeler. So I can't really give out the assets that I'm using for my speed level designs unless they are by me. And some of the shaders that I work on, some of the scripting that I work on, or most of the scripting and some of the shading, is some work by me, basically. So those are the things that I could start giving out. And to be quite honest, if you guys can recall that too, I'm the creator of Survival Engine series, the assets that are submitted to Unity Assets as a store, but they are mostly sold by Selfie right now because I don't really submit them anymore to as a store. But anyway, so basically I am the creator of that, and it's somewhat gained some popularity, and I was thinking that I could make some sort of giveaway where I can give away a few copies of Survival Engine Pro. And if you want to learn a little bit more about it and get some information, I'll link I'll leave a few useful links in the description box below, so you can check it out, check some information, check out a announcement video that I made for like a year ago, I guess, something like that. You can check that and see for yourself if that could be something useful. If you think that I should make a giveaway, let me know in the comment section below. And the second part of the question, and tutorial on Unity beginners, if I can make Unity tutorials. Yes, I was actually planning to make some really literally beginner tutorials, like what an inspector is, what all these tabs are, and what you can do in the scene window, what you can't do, the restrictions and all that. I was planning to do something like that, but I thought that it would be maybe a little bit too simple because I just sort of presume, which is ironic and selfish, but I just sort of presume that most of my viewers already know what Unity is and sort of know how to use it. But if you're, I mean, obviously you could be a person that can't get around it and still, watch my videos because you find it cool. So I think that it's just irrational that I don't make any tutorials for Unity beginners, because people still appreciate my tutorials. I made a few tutorials back in the day, and they got a lot of support, not only views, but I'm just talking about how much I actually helped people, because they often leave comments. So I would actually, yeah, I'm probably going to make some sort of Unity beginners tutorials, and if you have anything specific in your mind that I should cover up in the tutorials, let me know in the comment section below, so I'll take that in mind too. Alright, so the next guy is Justin Alexander on YouTube. He got 6 different questions for me, which is, oh god. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for asking all the questions. I hope I'm gonna be able to answer them all. So the first question is, do you work in the game industry? So I just presume that you mean game development industry. And professionally, no. As an indie developer, yes, I do. I make my own games. I work now. I started working with a VR company too. That I'm potentially going to develop my career a little bit there too, so that I can make a few games for them. Maybe it's not 100% sure, but if that happens, I'm gonna let you guys know that too. But basically, professionally, I don't work like with a game company right now. I also work as a freelancer, obviously, but not in a professional sense where I just like go to a office and work from there. But you can say that I'm in the game industry, yes. And the second question is, if so, as a level designer, what is it exactly that you do in the engine and other software? So basically what I do on Unity when I'm making speed level designs and just level designing in general for my freelancing customers, etc., is basically that I just literally make a level, make a map, plan out how it's gonna look, learn about the game. I always ask for some information, videos, media in general, pictures, etc., screenshots of the game that I'm going to work on, and or the map for the game that I'm going to work on, so that I know what the style is. If it's cartoon, if it's going to be really high quality models, if he needs like really really good looking textures, or if it can be cartoonish kind of or stylized. So I really just take care of these type of things, and if they don't really have a SketchUp of the map that they want me to make, I'll just come up with some and show them the progress, and then if they agree on that, I will make the map in Unity too. And other software, I would say that I work on PS or Photoshop and make some make these drawings that I show to my customers. And if they have anything that they want to add on, Photoshop is really easy to work on, so I just chose that software. But in Unity, is pretty much it. Oh, and also I make the post-processing effects, some codings, mostly from the asset store too, because there are already really useful assets that I had purchased for a while back, and they are really useful to use in my videos and in just my speed level designs in general. But other than that, I also code and all that. So yeah, that's what I do. The third question is sort of a continuing, or me continuing on the second question, and it's, do you use scripting as a level designer? Yes, I do. If you mean if I code by myself when I'm making a level design, yes, I do. And if you mean like, I'm actually, my main profession is actually coding, which is ironic because some people don't know that. It's not your fault. I don't really put that out in the obvious. I just have like a few videos where I make a little bit of coding. Late Night Coding was a series that I had started for a while back, and I haven't really made any videos there, but I'm planning on coming back to it, because returning to it would be really fun, because I thought that it was really really cool making these type of videos. They were like level designs, speed level designs, but they literally were just coding instead. So I made like a game system or a little game in just like an hour. But anyway, do you use scripting as a level designer? Yes, you do, but it's most likely just for post-processing effects. Or if your customer, let's say you work as a freelancer, as in my scenario, and your customer asks for you to make some third-party scripts for, say, NPCs, shopkeeping, etc., marketing inside of the game, then you probably have to do it if you accept the work. Or else, if you just want to work as a pure level designer and literally just do all the artificial, the visual part of the game, then you can do that too. But it really just depends on the customer you have if you work as a freelancer, or else if it's really just up to you. And if you work on an engine highly developed as Unity, you're going to have this inspector, which is going to help you, modify all these post-processing effects and assets that you download/buy, without actually opening up the code and coding by yourself, which is really, really cool. So you don't really need scripting, but I personally use scripting because I am a coder. So that's pretty much my answer to that. Fourth question by Justin is, do you feel that level designers need to be able to create environment art in 3D modeling software? I personally do absolutely not believe that. I think that it's, if you use a 3D software or a game engine in that scenario, it should be more than enough. Because if you use a like say Blender, 3D modeling software, the easiest one and the most popular one, Blender. What is the point of making a 3D scene there? Like if you're making all the models by yourself, then I could understand that, because you probably don't want to use all the cubes in Unity to make a chair, right? But if you're not going to make any models by yourself, then it's not even necessary for you to learn in general a 3D modeling software. And that's personally why I don't actually focus on any 3D modeling softwares right now, because I don't feel the need of it. And I don't even see the need of it because I don't really use them yet. But if I make a game and I have to make the models by myself, which I couldn't see any scenario that would happen, but if I were to have to make my models by myself, then I would learn the 3D modeling software. But you know, I don't feel like it's necessary for level designing. Absolutely not. Okay, the fifth one, I think it's not even a question, but it's your tutorial on level design was so enlightening. Keep that up. Thank you. Use scripting in your tutorials to have exercises and common things that you have to do in your job. I would just assume that the second part of this question, or this sentence is, or the second sentence is a question in general. So, do you use scripting in your tutorials to have exercises and common things that you have to do in your job? I mean, if you ask me for, if that's like a feedback for me to have some sort of coding snippet in my videos as a challenge for you guys, then I would personally do it. It would be a lot of fun to see you guys trying to solve it and, you know, post it in the comment section below. And that would actually be really clever. I'll try that in the future. If that's not what you meant, please let me know. And his final question is, if it is possible to create minigames like Unity Technology does on their website, would be amazing. Yeah, it is. I mean, you can make any type of game with Unity, really, because obviously Unity Technologies uses their own engine and makes this game, which means that if you use the same engine as they do, you're gonna be able to make them. It's just a matter of time, how quick you learn coding, how quickly you learn level designing, and level designing is a variable, coding is a variable too, so you don't really, there's not a limit or certain extent of what you have to learn. You just sort of learn and try, and if it works out, well, congratulations. Otherwise, you just keep on learning. And with that being said, yes, you can make any type of game with Unity, including a AAA quality game, really high quality that you can sell on PS4 market, whatever. And you can also make a really simple mobile game that you can just let people download for free. So it's really just up to you what you want to create, and then it's up to your fantasy, really. Sky's the limit, go for it. If you decide to have an intern, I will pay a monthly fee for getting taught by you. Thank you very much for that. And I also wanted to say that, because like, this is not a question, this is just a statement, but I wanted to include it in my video so that I, you know, take it up, because this is a point that I wanted to talk for a little bit at least. I was planning on creating like a Patreon page so that people can donate if they want to, and I can make certain type of videos, and there would be like a $5 whatever donation limit, so that you can donate $5 and then you can request a video and then I make it. That includes a commentary, I don't know, like a Q&A, whatever type of video, or a speed level design, which would be really cool because you guys can easily just request videos from there. Now, it wouldn't be necessary for you to donate donate in order to make a request, but it would just be fun, because if you guys feel like donating, then it would be a option for you. But the guy, or Justin, is saying that if you decide to have an intern, I'll pay a monthly fee. I plan on making like tutorials and lessons for Unity, but I can also be hired as a freelancer for teaching out Unity and teaching out how to use coding, etc. Teaching coding in general. And I was planning on making like a video series where I can sell them or make them free or whatever, but that comes later. The most important part is to decide if I have to, or if I want to make these type of videos. And I think that I would like to make them, but I just want to see that you guys would like to support them too. Not by money, but just by watching and letting me know by commenting your feedback, etc. Now, finally, we're up to a new guy here. Next up, we got NV Games asking me, hey Sykoo, why do you use Unity instead of Unreal Engine, for example? When I started with coding, I didn't really start with Unity. I started using like VB, Visual Basics, and then I sort of moved on to Unity because I thought that game development was interesting, because I was really fascinated by games in general. and I love playing games. So I just sort of like searched up a few engines, and I started off with an engine called for 001 engine, or game engine, something like that. It was an RPG editor engine, and it was really simple. It didn't include any coding. There was just visual scripting in there, so you just like placed a few modules and then you dragged a node in between them, so you connected them to each other and a certain type of event happened. So that was really fun, and then I wanted to make it a little bit more advanced, learn a few tricks about coding, and move on to 3D in general. So I started searching, and I found a free engine, which was Unity. And I think at that time Unreal Engine did cost, and I was just a kid when I started, so I didn't really have the money, and that's why I chose Unity, I guess. And the second I started using it, it felt difficult from the beginning because I didn't really know what I was doing, and I didn't know what to expect. But it was really advanced for me, a kid like 12 years old or 11 years old. But after like a month of working on Unity, I really got used to it. So it felt like I was finally doing something that I liked. And that's why I kept on using Unity instead of moving on to Unreal Engine, because I just feel like Unity is a super good engine that you can use for making literally everything. And there are no limits with Unity. There are no limits probably with Unreal Engine 2, but I'm already used to Unity, and there's no reason for me to move on to another engine like Unreal Engine. Second question, what program do you use to make 3D modeling? I've been using Blender for the most part. I also use another, I think it was called for, no, not ArcWiz, that was an asset from the asset store. I don't really remember the name. There was another 3D modeling software that I literally got started into, and then I just quit because I wanted to focus more on my YouTube. But yeah, Blender is probably the only one I've used in a serious sense. What kind of music you like to hear? My favorite genre is rock, like alternative rock, not metal or anything like that. But I'm really viable when it comes to music genres. I can listen to hip hop, I can listen to pop, I can listen to rock. Rock is my favorite, and then hip hop comes a little bit like second, I would say. And I also like really not classic, but I like sort of like emotional type of music. So you just have instrumental music that is going on in the background. I like that kind of stuff. I don't know. I like I said, I'm really flexible when it comes to music. And here we got a old-time viewer, Mishki, who's asking what kind of game that you're working on right now. Can you give us a hint about that? I really can't give a hint about the game that I'm working on right now. Oops, that was a coin. I like not that I can't, but like there is no rule stating that I can't, but I really just don't want to yet, because we're sure of what we're creating with my friends, but we still have so many other things that we work on too. So I don't really want to reveal too much before I actually go 100% on what we're working with first. So, but as soon as we start the development, you guys are going to be the first to know that. And I know you can speak 5 different languages, so this one is Turkish, if that's okay for you. So first of all, I can't speak 5 different languages technically. We Swedes often count Norwegian and Danish as 2 languages that we can speak, but it's not that easy. Like Norwegian speaking is easy put out for you guys. Norwegian, you can understand when they speak. As a Swede, you can understand when they speak, but you can't read their text, or at least for the most part. It's really difficult to read. Ironically enough, though, Danish you can read really easily without any trouble, but you can't speak the language and you can't understand the shit of what they're saying. And trust me on this one. So technically I know 3 different languages, and German is like half, not even half, like even less. So I don't really want to count German as a language that I know, but I can read a little bit and I can type a little bit. Reading is my strongest part though. And he also asked a question in Turkish, which was, how did you manage to learn 5 languages? Well, once again, I'm ashamed to admit, but I don't really know the 5 languages, but 3 languages. I'm born and raised in Sweden, and so technically I know Swedish. And in Sweden we just focus a lot on English, so it kind of, you know, got my interest point on learning English. So I just started learning more by browsing the internet, playing games. Literally everything that I did on the internet, like making YouTube videos, really helped me out. Really helped me a lot. So these type of things really helped me for learning that language. But Turkish just came from, you know, my parents are from Turkey, so we speak Turkish at home. So yeah, that's where I learned that from. The other two, like I said, it's not complete, but you probably get the point now. We not really study, but we see a few examples here and there when we're at school, etc., for learning a little bit of Norwegian and Danish. So yeah. And we also got Elemental Arrow, which is also an all-time viewer. Hey Sykoo, what are your favorite games to play, and what are your favorite games that you have made yourself? Oh, that's an interesting question. My favorite game, I don't really know. Like I'm just a person who literally likes playing everything. Until now, or until like a few months ago, probably. Division was my favorite game. The Division. I made a few videos where I made most of my commentary videos with the gameplay of the Division in the background too. And I really like that game, but not anymore. I sort of like burned out, so I don't really play it anymore, except for I just like logged in, checked out the new patch, and then just logged out again. But I'm planning on starting again, but yeah, I don't really play it. But besides that, I really do play League of Legends with my friends, and that's probably the reason why that game is my most played game right now, I guess I could say. And I also got recently a PS4 and bought Infinite Warfare today, so I'm just gonna try that game out. Who knows? I hated the trailer, but that game could become my new favorite game. Who knows? But yeah, that's my answer to that question at least. And what are your favorite games that you have made yourself? Let me see. I was actually working on I don't really know actually when I think about it. I would say Lens because it wasn't a 100% original game that I was focusing on to making a serious game out of. I just made like a few trailers. I wanted to release the demo and I did. And it actually became a little bit successful. Like I didn't publish the full game because I didn't want to, you know, do it, but basically the game itself was inspired by Limbo, the game made by Playdead, or yeah, I think their name was Playdead. But I was pretty much just inspired by that game. Limbo was a really cool game and the art was really cool, so I just wanted to test around and see for myself if I could make something similar with the art style and the soundtrack, etc. On Unity, and it actually worked out pretty good. So, and it, you know, it got ranked like number 70 out of 24,000 games, something crazy like that. And I could have probably released it and made it something really successful. And most of my projects that I worked on for myself have actually been like ended up like that. I just didn't finish them up, which is really sad. But now that I'm actually moving on to this game development industry as a career and trying to build myself a career out of this, and I got my YouTube channel, you know, growing every day, which is really, really fun. I don't really see any reason why I shouldn't make a game and publish it like in a serious matter. So I'm probably going to make something, but the game that I've developed so far, which is my favorite and the most time spent onto, is Lens. So yeah. Next up, we got Derry. He's asking, first of all, how old are you? I'm 19 years old. I'm actually 19 and a half. There we go. I'm turning 20 in June next summer, so hype that up. When did you start coding is the second question. I started not coding. I started coding when I was 11, something like that, 11, 12. Late 11, middle 12, something like that. I don't really remember, but I was in like 6th grade, I think. Actually, before that, I think I started coding when I was in 5th grade, because I started a little bit with Visual Basics, as I said in my a little bit earlier in this video, and then I turned into Unity, etc. So, and Unity times were 6th grade for me when I was 12, 11, sort of ish, something like that. I don't really know, but when I was a kid, at least. Why did you start coding? I was just fascinated in games and softwares and computers and anything to do with technology, really. And I got to learn that coding was what was behind every single magic that I was seeing on my computer. So I thought, why wouldn't I start with it? Because I thought that it was something fun. And by that age, I think I just sort of understood with the support that I was receiving from my parents that I would do something that I love, and I thought that I loved computers and I loved game development or games in general. So I started with coding, and it kind of ended up well. Not even ended up well. It just got really good, and I was enjoying my time. It didn't even feel like I was working and learning. It just felt like I was learning while having fun and playing games. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just enjoyed it. What do you want to be in the future job? Well, I would say game developer. In a biased way, I would say game developer, but I'm not really sure yet. I really don't really, I really just don't know what type of career that I would like to build. I could build something inside of game development, but I also want to have some sort of not an impact, but I want IT, web development, software architecture, etc. in my life too. So I don't want to abandon them just because I become a game developer full time. And that's why I'm trying to find a way to make myself more generalized inside of this industry, the IT industry in general. So I'm not really sure about that, but I would guess on game developer for the moment. Mercury Magma asks, have you mastered any coding languages? If so, how long did it take? I would very much consider myself as a master in master. I would say that I've mastered C Sharp because I'm so confident in it now. And I've been working on it for years. I've literally used C Sharp for like 5+ years now. But it didn't take so long. I mean, the thing with coding languages is that it never stops growing. And if you're working on a software that is regularly getting updated and patched and upgraded in general, as Unity is, you can't really call yourself as the language totally because it's not dead. Like, it keeps on getting updated. And the thing with programming languages is that you say you learn C Sharp and you learn C Sharp inside of Unity, that doesn't make you a master in C Sharp generalized, or generally, because that means you're master in quotation marks. That means you're a master in C Sharp with the API of Unity. Because when Unity gets updated, you can realize that C Sharp that we use in Unity gets updated too because of the API of Unity. So it changes, and that change reflects to C Sharp, the coding language that is primarily used in Unity. But I would say that I've mastered the C Sharp language because not only because I'm really confident in it when using Unity, but I also am really confident when I'm using any other software too. And I have an ease for learning C Sharp because I know the structure so well. So I would say that I know a lot about C Sharp. Not everything, because I'm not even close to knowing everything, but I know a lot. So C Sharp, I would say I know, I've mastered, and I would say that it took about 3 years maybe. And more than years, more than time. You just have to, obviously you have to give it time, but you have to work on different type of APIs to get used to it. And if a new game engine, say a game engine for example, gets started up today and releases tomorrow, you're gonna have to learn the API there too. So you're probably, or most likely, going to start from, not really, but scratch, even if you work on C Sharp with that game engine, unless they use the same API as a game engine you used before. But yeah, I would say C Sharp. Yeah. We also got Nate here, who asked a few questions that were similar to the other ones, but I will just go through them really quickly so that I don't really skip anybody that asked the question. First question: what music do you listen to? Rock, pop, hip hop, like instrumental, epic type of music. What games do you play? League of Legends for the most part. Now Infinite Warfare, I just purchased it. UFC 2, I'm in love with that game on my PS4. That's a beauty for me. That's my baby. And how old are you? I'm 19 years old. I'm turning 20 soon. I just have to brag about it every time I speak of my age. I'm like that in real life too. Guy that likes games. I like that name. By the way, I remember you from my channel. Thank you so much for being everywhere. What are your future plans with this channel, your career as a game developer in general? Well, I would like to, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to strive to make YouTube my primary career or a career in general, but if it happens because people like me, I would love that. I would love to have Unity as a career too, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to abandon my game development career, etc. So I'm gonna, like, if that happens ever, never ever, if it happens, I'm gonna have to find like a balance between balance, just literally balance them two. But I would like to, yeah, I would otherwise like to have a game developer as my primary career. Other than that, yeah. How long would you say it takes to become proficient in a coding language with no formal knowledge? Asked the boy. I would say, I mean, it's just a variable. Like, you can't really say, you can't really tell the time, because it's up to a person's knowledge, and not knowledge in the coding language, but like just learning ability. I guess you could say knowledge is a wrong word. I have an ease for learning, and therefore it took just like a year for me to learn really, really just a lot about the programming language that I was working on. But maybe for you it can take 5 years. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to say that I learn really quickly compared to other people, but I just learn really quickly. So when I say as a time of myself, or the time that I learned under, for me, it's not gonna be the same for you. But I would say maybe 2 years to become really, really good. Otherwise, you're obviously going to be really good even if you work, say, 6 months, right? Because as soon as you learn the basics, as soon as you learn what you have to search up on, you're going to be able to learn more about the coding language, because it's the most important part, knowing what to search for and knowing how to solve a problem. Programming is not only about the statement that you write and if statements, if that happens, and all the math equations, etc. It's more about problem solving. So as soon as you learn that, as soon as you learn how to handle all the issues and errors and what you have to search for, then you're good to go. Bob asks, do you ever plan on making YouTube your primary career? Like I said before, I don't, like, if it happens, it happens, and I'll be happy about it and I'll accept it. But I'm not going to strive to make it my primary career. I would love for it to become, and I would love to have it as my primary career, but I'm not going to say, if I start in college and it doesn't really work out, but I still really am hyped for YouTube, I'm not going to quit college just to make YouTube my primary career. However, if I see that it really goes well, then the conditions may matter, right? But it's not going to vary for the moment, at being, at least. If it happens, it happens, but I'm not going to strive for it, but I would love to have it as a career. So yeah, guys, those were all the questions that we had for this Q&A. I plan on making more Q&As in the future too, so if you have any questions, you can even start by asking right now. If you enjoyed this video, let me know, by the way. This is my first Q&A, so I hope it was really... it may be a little bit clunky and it was too long, I think, but 30 minutes is quite okay for me. I'm not even tired yet, so I'm fine with that. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. If I should keep making commentaries, and if I should make another Q&A later. If so, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to stay up to tune for new videos coming soon, comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next episode of whatever I make. See y'all guys, love you, bye, peace.